I'll go in. My main goal then is to make everybody feel good.
Yeah.
I know it sounds a little bit like complimenting myself, but I got some bad qualities, so maybe I'm just highlighting a good one.
And let's list the bad qualities.
I talk about the same issues over and over and over and over again until someone that even agrees with me wants to punch me in the face. When I tell you that I still love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
You can tell when you perform. I watch you perform, and it's so clear you love it.
Yeah, I really do. I love that it sounds weird to say this, but I like that I know new comedians. It takes a little effort.
Yeah. It
takes a little effort, meaning like in the last 5 years, sometimes I do shows and I run out after the show's over for no reason. I have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I go, where are you going? And the thing is, if I stay, I'll end up meeting someone I love. Like Bar Lubitsch, I went out to the patio the last time I was there. Two comedians sat down. They're like, hey, we start talking. Next thing you know, we're smoking pot. Yeah. And now I have a new best friend.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is Bill Burr. The voice you're hearing right now is mine. I'm Jared Goldstein, and I'm the host of this podcast, the Sorry What Podcast, an advice podcast from a bad listener. Please call in, tell us your problems.
Oh,
we're helping.
I forgot about that. I like
that.
Yeah,
we're going to take voicemails. And this other voice you're hearing, it's Todd fucking Glass.
Wow.
Thank you so much for being here. This is so exciting. And you are the first guest who brought a bottle of wine.
A bottle of wine.
How sweet is that?
Sometimes I forget I'm an adult and I have to go, I could bring a bottle of wine.
Yes.
I don't know how good it is, but...
Hey, it's great. It's red wine.
I mean, I figure it's $8. It's got to be pretty good.
Hey, that's $8 I didn't have this morning.
15. I went all the way. I saw them for $8. I go, Todd, at least spend 15.
You haggled them down.
I haggled them down at Vaughn's. Yeah. My ex used to, we were in Bangkok and he would haggle people.
Wow.
And the people do it there.
No,
but
sure.
then after a while, he goes, his friend goes, you're talking about like 50 cents. And I go, please stop, Chris. Stop haggling these people down for 50 cents.
Yeah, that is tough.
It's embarrassing.
The tuk-tuks. Did you get in a tuk-tuk?
Yes.
How crazy.
Oh, that whole experience. He still is. He's half French, half Thai.
It's your whole life.
What?
It'll be your whole life for that. If you are half French and half Thai.
What do you mean?
When you are, there's a feature of being biracial, which is that you are biracial your whole life.
I don't understand.
I'm just being dumb.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. He told me, his mom goes, he's not Thai. She has an accent too. She goes, he's not Thai. He's Chinese. He doesn't tell people. I'm like, I don't care.
Oh, interesting.
But his dad lived in Bangkok.
Yeah.
And we went there and it was great.
Isn't it
quite
wild?
The experience?
Yeah. I was there last Thanksgiving.
You were in Bangkok?
Yeah. I was performing on a gay cruise through Asia and we ended in Bangkok. And I spent the night there, one night in Bangkok. And it was crazy. And those tuk-tuks, man, they're like, I'm screaming. It's going so fast.
I know. We had a really good time. He was great with putting stuff together. We did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I told him, we did it once by ourselves. We went to Bangkok and then we went to PP Islands.
Okay.
And
that's a great name for islands.
I know, PP Islands.
PP.
This is back when we were both in the closet. So like we
going to PP Island, just two guys.
I forgot what we told people. Cousin, manager. We made up so many lies. But the bigger problem was
penis island. That's where we're going.
I don't like doing anything during the day. I'm a night person.
Yeah.
So at night, when we went with two girls the next time.
Okay.
And then it was so much better because he had somebody to do stuff during the day with. At night, I come alive. We had fun. PP Islands people were so sweet and so nice.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
Yeah, I would love to go back and it was such a weird way to see Asia for the first time because I'm, on an American cruise doing stand up and then I'm in a different Asian country every 2 days for 4 hours.
Because you're on the cruise.
Because you're on a cruise and you have to get from the port to the city, the nearest city, and then you have to stay with your group to get back on the bus, to go back to the port, to get back on the boat, to go to the next place.
And you were by yourself?
Essentially. I mean, I knew people on the boat.
Oh, you did?
I did, but I'm also like, we're not close and like, yeah, it's a lonely experience.
What did you meet any cool gay cruise?
Yes,
that would be like,
yeah.
I think that would be like for me going outside of my comfort zone.
Oh, hugely. I mean, it's because it's like, when you're doing stand up, it's like you're not often performing for 100 only gay men. Like that almost never happens.
Yeah.
And then the boat is all gay men, and you're just like, it's when you're doing stand up, you're so around straight people and straight men that to like do it on a gay cruise, it's like there's like a culture shock of like, oh wow, like this is so different. And you're away from your friends and your family, and it's this trip was long. It was like 12 days on the boat. That's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Was your room okay?
It's fine. You know, you're in like you're like in a little whatever. But yeah, it was by the end of it, you're just kind of like the shows were going well, that people would come back to see them, which is really great. But then I'm doing essentially the same material in the same show.
And that was okay with that.
Well, it's okay with my
Sometimes.
employer, but it was not okay with these patrons. And they were letting me know that they were disappointed that they were coming back and seeing the same show.
How long was your set?
25 minutes.
And how many times did you perform?
6 times.
Wow.
Okay, I don't have 6 25 minutes.
No, some people.
I don't. Some people do. I do not.
I wouldn't. You know, whether I had it or not on paper,
yeah,
it would just be hard. You still need clothes.
Of course, you
might be able to. You might be able to do okay, you're doing a 25-minute set. 15 you could do brand new, or even 18.
Yeah.
But 6 minutes is the opener. That is you don't necessarily. Yeah.
Your tent poles of your subjects. Right. You know.
Anyway, was there anybody on there you thought was attractive?
You know, on this ship I didn't, but it was less of a party boat and more of a like couples kind of seeing the world. But they do have I've been on other cruises to the Caribbean that were like just like basically like a giant boat for like EDM heads.
Which one is that?
Well, the men on that Asian cruise would be very upset to see me again because by the end they were yelling out my punchlines before I could say them as a heckle.
Oh.
Can you believe that? And then also on my like my 6th show, when I came on stage, I went second. They started filing out. Like it was so bad. And then truly, I was like sobbing. I'm in Bangkok. I'm like, where am I? Who am I? I don't remember who. Like, it's so. I am so susceptible to completely forgetting who I am in general. And being on a cruise like that was like, oh my God, really challenging.
Interesting. Yeah. I did them years ago, and we're only doing 2 shows. We could repeat the material. How many people were in each show? Like 100, 300?
Yeah, like 100.
100. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was we could repeat the same material because there were only 2 shows.
And
there were different audiences, so it was actually fun. It was you're on there with other comedians. You don't have to drive. Yes. It was really
I did an
nice.
EDM. I did a straight EDM cruise like that. So fun.
What's EDM? The drug?
Electronic dance music.
Okay. Oh, that must have been great.
It was fun. It was really, really, really. Ty Dolla $ign was on the boat. It was cool.
Wow. What did you say? What type of music was it?
EDM.
You know, my ex would. What's EDM stand for?
Electronic dance music.
He would introduce me to the stuff that he knew I would like. This one artist that like would bring a lot of trumpet players with him, and what I admired about that type of, it seems like they really take the space, which I'm into. And all performers come in. I get it. No matter who you are, if you're a big time performer, yes, you come in with your own stage, but those guys seem to even do more, like taking over the space and in the audience what the lighting is, and just really outside. I don't know. Some of the shows he would show me that he went to,
swinging their trumpets around.
How dare you? We'll be back right after this.
Yeah.
But anyway,
honestly, I love the idea of you taking over the show. I'm so tired of hosting the show. It's a lot of work.
Oh, hosting?
To just be in the driver's seat of anything, I'm like, oh.
I did it for years. I had a podcast and loved every minute of it.
Yes, I've listened to it.
I loved every minute of it. It was great. Wow. When I did my last episode, it doesn't matter whether you have a show on television or not. Like, I was very emotional.
Yeah.
Very emotional, and met so many cool people. And, there's an expression they say, you get the audience you deserve.
Ooh, okay. And that's a read. And
it meant when I met nice people, it made me feel good. Like I must have been doing something right. I remember one night, real quick, I'll tell this.
Take your time.
There was a comedian. He wasn't even bad-mouthing who he opened for. And you know what? I don't even remember who it was. But he was saying, crowds today, heckle. Crowds today.
Yeah.
And he was touring with like a big, person that would sell like 3,000 seats and 5,000 seats. And he kept saying crowds. I didn't say anything, but in my head I went, no, their crowd. He's acting like comedy in a whole. I'm touring with, whoever it is, like whether it's Jim Gaffigan or, over the years, or, Sarah Silverman or whoever it is, their crowds, David Cross, they're not heckling. So that, I guess it would be hard for that person. And it wasn't the big act that drew the people. It was the opening act that was saying, but he wasn't going, oh, the person I'm with, their crowds.
Yeah.
But I guess it would be depressing if that person had to go, well, my crowds, and someone, crowds. No, not all crowds, just the people that come to see me.
Yeah.
I'm sure throw him into a funk. So he just stays purposely or unpurposely ambiguous to crowds today. And I want to go, no, not crowds today. Your crowds, this stuff you get the audience you deserve. That's what it all came back to.
Speaking of Sarah Silverman, she has a joke about people who are just unself-aware enough that they don't KMS themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. How depressing would it be to go, no, I went and saw Jim Gaffigan and they don't heckle. I saw, this person and they didn't heckle, but so maybe that's interesting. Just delusional enough.
Just enough.
Just so they don't. And you know what? That's when I'm like, oh, good. I don't want to see anybody kill themselves because they're self-aware. Imagine if they took a self-aware pill made them self-aware for 20 minutes.
I took acid once, and I felt like it was in a weird way. It was like a self-awareness pill because they say don't look in the mirror. They're like, whatever you do, you'll like freak out.
I don't do that anyway.
Rip your face off. Yeah, literally. I'm like kind of avoiding mirrors. I'm like only certain mirrors, certain lights and stuff. And I did see myself at one point, and I was so uncharacteristically kind to myself.
You were in
that moment, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
kind is what? How on your judgment of your physicality?
Yeah, of everything. I'm like my face, the way I look, who I am. Like looking in the mirror was weirdly this like compassionate moment of like stopping. It was like almost like I've spent my whole life like on acid, and it like undid it for that one.
Wow, that's good
to just be like.
I have moments, so I'm not playing woe is me, where if I look in the mirror and I'll go, if you look like that, I'm fine with that. That's great. But then I'm not joking. I could go to a bathroom at a place and look in the mirror, especially if I'm high. I think I have body dysmorphia.
Sure.
And I'll look in the mirror and I'm trying to tone it down now because I know it's not very, gross. Yeah. I'll say to myself, and I just, and I try to forget it,
Yeah.
So, but that's, but I would like if I could look in the mirror and be kind. Also, I'd like to know what I look like.
From the outside.
If somebody could say, okay, do I look like I look in that mirror? Or do I look like in that mirror? And I'll brace myself. I just want to know the truth. I'll brace myself if they go, you look more like that mirror. I'll go, okay. And then I'll kill myself.
Yeah.
I have so many jokes where I sarcastically say, like I go, did you ever have your phone, the camera goes on, you're sitting somewhere and your camera goes on by accident and you see your neck fat, you want to kill yourself?
Yeah.
I don't want to, that's one thing I could work on. I really mean that. Like, I actually, not that it's that groundbreaking, but I've never even said I want to work on that. But I know that's not healthy to be so caught up in,
the way you look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. And that's why I was going to tell you, what do you mean you're a good looking guy? It's based on that.
I'm like, what are you looking at?
No.
I'm like, what part are you looking at?
Yeah, it's not.
Why are you saying that?
I have my problem with my face and my hair.
Yeah.
But anyway, hi.
Hi. It's so great to be here. Do you want to take a voicemail and just kind of look? Let's look out into the world for once in our lives.
When I give help, I started doing something. Before I give it, I used to come on my podcast and go, I want to apologize for some advice I gave. I thought about if I did it with my brother. That's real. I'm going to be there. Oh, it would never work. It would. He's not stupid.
Yeah.
In other words, if I tried to correct him in a passive, even progressive way, and I go, and I was telling people, here's what you do if you're in that. So now I think before you give advice, so today I'll do the same.
Okay.
I'll really think.
When people try to give you advice on what you need to tell someone about in having a difficult conversation, they will always so confidently go, just say, look. No one has ever said, look. No one has ever said, look.
Look. Oh, it's no.
If someone sat me down and said, look, I'd be like, whoa.
You already know there's
There's
trouble.
your first problem. Look. And it's everyone's go-to.
That's such a...
Just tell your brother, look.
Look. Because they're not going to go, hey, listen, look. You look great.
Yes.
It's never positive.
Yeah.
Look means there's trouble. And it's very aggressive.
And I'm thinking of 6 people right now.
Look.
God.
So that's an interesting finite thing that you caught. You go, stop with your
I have
the
an
look.
amazing brain. I'm
It's
so
just-
unique and special.
Good.
really-
I think you are too.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's take a voicemail. Here we go.
Like, I don't know how I look on camera
Hey
right
Jared,
now.
big fan of the podcast.
Oh,
So,
here it is. Sorry.
here's the issue that I have. My wife has a remote job. It's on Zoom, and I help her out sometimes because the camera is off and the mic is usually off. And so, whenever that is, she usually asks me to come in and do a lot of the work. So, I have my job, but also, I do most of her job, and it's getting to the point where it's stressing me out, and I don't really have a lot of free time. I'm a little overstretched, and it's really cold where I am, and so I don't get to go outside much. She's not really being flexible and saying that it's my responsibility to do her job. So I'm just wondering what you think I should do and how I should approach this with her. All right. Thanks a lot for your help.
What's his name?
Oh no, he didn't say.
You got to say to her, look.
Yeah. Sit your wife down and say, look.
Wow. That's,
I do.
you know,
That's
the first thing I
wild.
think when I hear that?
What?
Oh, there's probably layers of, they probably have it's probably layers of some other things too, like, because communication here is the main thing
See,
here.
there seems to be a breakdown of communication.
Yeah, how would you even start that? Now all I have stuck in my head is the look.
The look.
Look.
But my first thought was, wow, that's so fun. I want a wife. Or I want a husband.
It's going to do...
That's going to do my work for me.
And the other thing is, we don't know from her.
I know.
But
What's
that's okay.
the
I'm not...
balance?
Yeah, what's the... She might... If she was here, she might go, well, hold
But
on. You're
here's
not
what I'm
mentioning
doing.
that I do that for you.
He did
And-
that because I had to go to the grocery store
Right.
for him and
Right.
his Super Bowl party or whatever. I do wonder what the balance of labor in the home is, and if maybe you're leveling the playing field by taking some of the workload off of her, or if not, and you are taking on more work than is fair, use it. You have leverage. Get a favor.
Right.
Ask for a
Start that
gift.
way. Maybe there's something that you could do.
Send
and
her
then-
an Amazon wish list. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, hold on. I had a thought. Now it's not here.
Oh, take your time.
She needs help. Well, if they sit down and they talk about it, I found in my relationship that we did not walk on eggshells when we talked about something. We walked on eggshells when we didn't talk about it. And whenever we left therapy,
that's beautiful.
right, whenever we left therapy, I didn't even think about this then. I thought about it later.
Yeah.
I go, and I say it to people sometimes when I'm, someone that I love in my life that maybe I work with, maybe it's someone that I don't want to mention anything because then that person might go. But it's someone.
Completely.
It could be my manager. It could be someone that helps me with my social media.
Yeah.
And I go. By the way, it's two things I say. I go, one, I have an expression I use. I'll say it to them like that. That something doesn't have to be the biggest deal in the world to bring it up. Otherwise, if it did, I wouldn't bring this up.
Oh.
In other words, it's
'Cause
not the
people,
biggest
there's
deal.
a defensive assumption that it's the biggest thing in the world.
That it's a big thing. I go, if someone says don't bring anything up unless it's a big deal, I go, I wouldn't bring this up.
Yeah.
Because it's not. So I'll say that, and then I'll say, when I was in counseling, I go, after we bring this up, we never walked on eggshells. We get in the car, we go out to eat, we felt heard. And it was a great time after therapy. After maybe the first 5 or 6 visits were rough because you're getting to learn the therapist.
You're getting in there.
She's learning who she can say, stop it already and be a little aggressive with. She's trying to, she doesn't want to lose either one of you.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is
Both
that
your shirts are off. She's like, what the hell? Yeah.
you have to sit down and say, let's discuss this, and maybe steal a little bit of the verbiage about it's not the biggest deal in the world, but, and just sit down and go, how do you feel? Because again, I think the best thing we're doing is mentioning she's not. That way if she does ever hear this, she'll be like, thank you. Or if she doesn't do anything for him, in the work arena.
In the work.
Yeah, because let's say he goes, well, we both When it comes to housework, of course, that's not included. We both share that. Of course, we both do that. So let's say then that's true. And she goes, yeah, we both do the house stuff, cook, clean. We're pretty much down the middle. We don't have any kids. Okay, and it's just about work. Then, then they could sit down and just say, I want to discuss it.
Yeah. It's interesting to work. I mean, I'm assuming they work in a similar field that, he would have enough knowledge to do some of her work for her. And I'm like trying to imagine, like, if I was dating a comedian, would that happen where they needed ideas for something and then we're kind of talking and then I go, oh, well, what if for an episode you blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm going, wait, hold on. I'm kind of, now I'm writing this show.
I bet that happens.
I bet it happens.
I bet that happens a lot. And one person's giving more than the other. One time my friend, real quick, because it's a little bit off topic.
Get off topic.
My friend, you watch your mouth. My friend goes, Todd, tell me if my girlfriend's funny. He goes, and I wouldn't tell him. They're dating.
Yeah.
But
also, who cares?
Well, 10 minutes before the show, he goes, I really need you to be honest with me. I need you. And she got on stage just the way she...
Oh, she's a comedian.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. And just the way she was standing and took the mic and I turned to him and I go, you have to leave her. Like, that's how bad it was.
Wow.
But anyway, so he was a lot of times helping her. It's not being sexist. I'm sure it happens both ways.
Of course.
Whoever's dating who, you have a significant other.
I want to be the first gay comedian to be dating a horribly unfunny gay comedian.
You're going to be there's no one out there?
I mean, it's probably me.
Oh, shut up.
But do you know what I mean? Like, when you see that, like, trope of, like, you see it in stand-up of someone who's, like, really funny and successful in stand-up and they're dating someone who really isn't. And you're like, interesting. But then maybe sometimes there's, like, a different, division of labor or power. Maybe that person's really hot and, like, good for you both. And you both admire each other. And great. Who cares? Like, who even cares about being good at stand-up? It's fine. Like, you can be or not be, whatever. But I think it'd be really fun to fill that role in a new homosexual way and just date some hottie patati who's just so hack. And I'm just like, introduce my hacky boyfriend.
That would be harder than you think.
You think? Maybe, yeah, I'm sure.
Because I know socially, I thought about this. I'm not really pursuing a relationship right now. But socially, I know that I could not date somebody that was not on the same page as me as socially. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you think, oh, well, if they're gay, no, a lot of gay people are giving non-binary people a hard time. They're like, or you know what I mean?
Oh, gotcha.
Or people that identify all over the gamut, and I go, I couldn't. And when people go, I always feel like defensive that I know the other side thinks, because it doesn't seem spiritual to go, can't you be friends with someone that doesn't agree with everything you agree with? Yeah. And I want to go, yes. I can. Of course I have to. Of course you have people that you love to death but don't agree with you on everything. But there's lines.
Yeah.
Did you think do you really think that I'm that person? Like, oh, they like jazz music, I don't. Forget it, it's off.
Yeah.
So can't you be friends with somebody that voted for Trump? I mean, that's the question. And the answer is yes.
Yeah. We actually just had a call about
family.
That. Yeah.
Family.
Your family.
Family, maybe someone who cuts my hair really good. But no, I cannot be in a relationship. So you think, well, what are the odds it's going to be the same? I'd rather them be more evolved. Sure. Like my ex would...
Put up with me.
Or bring me higher.
Yeah.
Like my ex was better at remembering when somebody preferred to be called that,
Yes.
He was... And one time he corrected me like 3 times in a sentence. He goes, I'm sorry. I go, oh my God, Vinny, don't be sorry.
Yeah,
I appreciate
forward.
It. Bring me, I'll come up. I'd much rather come up and make myself better.
Yes.
And have somebody on that than have to put up with somebody. Because could you be in a relationship with somebody that was like socially not where you're at? I
don't know. Because here's the thing. It's like, I think obviously the dream is to be looking straight across at someone who has all of the same important foundational beliefs as you.
Well said.
And also roll your eyes at the same thing. And you can have fun with those little naughty moments together of like, okay. But I guess if I had to, I think I am like you, where I would want to date someone who is above me and compassionate. Because when you start constantly interacting with someone who is and I don't want to say below you. I don't mean below me or beneath me like that.
I know what we're just talking about
you start to feel like that divide in a bad way, and you start to feel like this, like you start to feel like a caricature of a liberal or something.
Yeah.
In a way that's like, ugh, I hate that.
By the way, I'll always preface this because yes, it's very important to able to be accepting of other people with different beliefs. Obviously, otherwise you could go, well, you're mirroring the other side. But there's a big difference, as far as, when some people make their beliefs not giving other people their rights. That's not a belief.
Yes.
That's not a belief.
Yeah.
So, I'd rather have somebody bring me, it would be hard for me to hear someone complain about something that doesn't bother. Even if I'm telling you, if I was in a relationship and somebody said kids today, I could, that is the bane of my existence. Anybody referencing the kids today. Yeah. And I even go trying to be fair about it, even if it's like true, even if I'm wrong. I think kids today get smarter. I just think that's the evolution of the world. Kids get smarter. You wouldn't be the first generation that said kids are dumber, kids are lazier. You're not going to be the first, Bill Maher. You're not the first. And they say it with no shame. That's how you know they're not aware of it and putting thought into it. If they put thought into it, they went, the 50s said about the 60s, the 60s said about the 70s.
I know.
The 70s said,
oh my God. If the repetition.
There's no self-awareness. Because if there was self-awareness and you are going to grab my ear, you would at least have to start like this. Imagine someone like Bill Maher going, saying this. I am very aware of what I am saying right now has been said over and over and over and over and over. Yeah. But please give it a listen. You know what? I would. But when you just start with the same shit.
Like you invented it.
The same garbage that's being said and proven untrue every time. And I always think they start thinking kids are stupider. I figured out when. It's very sad. When? It almost goes back to Sarah Silverman's a little unself-aware enough. When they disagree with them.
Oh, yeah.
When they disagree with them. Colleges used to be a place where you could be a forward thinker. Oh, you don't think it is anymore because you think, well, I'm a forward thinker, so if they're disagreeing with me...
Then they must not be.
Then they must not be the forward thinkers. They must be too far. When people go, oh, now they're... They've
gone too far.
They've gone too far. And by the way, and I'll keep this short, there's a history. You don't have to argue what they're saying they're going too far with. You don't have to, you'll never get anywhere. If you go, well, I think this, and they're wrong about this. You just have to look at it from far back and go, well, there's been a history of when people were told they were going too far. Women's rights. Oh, I'm all for women's rights, but now they're going too far.
Yeah.
Racial rights, now they're going too far. And when you look back on all of those, everything that they thought was too far, now 30 years later, you go, oh my God, it's just fair.
Yeah.
Everything that we had on the too far list is just fair. So that's why when someone says now the lefts they're too far. No, you're just fell off the wagon with progression. Anyway,
completely.
But anyway, but I'm not.
Oh yeah, I've had like an interesting trajectory with my parents where like maybe 15 years ago, I'm like telling them like I'm sort of like ushering them towards like more like progressive identity politics. And now they are so there in a way that is really great.
Wow, that's admirable.
And I'm sure they probably would have got there on their own too. They're Democrats, they're not, they do live on Staten Island. But now we're at a point where like they will like we're at dinner, they'll be like, on their, progressive like identity politics. And I'm at a point where I think a lot of liberals are, where we're just like, just shoot them, just shoot the oligarchs, just shoot them. It's good. Just them and they're like so it's like I keep moving the goalpost on my parents to be like ushering them towards
right.
Yeah,
that's so funny. How old are your parents?
They are 65-ish.
Cool. I like that they're your brothers and sisters.
I have an older sister.
And how you get along with her?
Yeah, we're siblings, we're
cool.
Siblings,
yeah,
but we do get along.
Nice.
Yeah, and now she has a daughter, and that's
I hope that person
my wallpaper. It's very cute. We all have fun. I was FaceTiming her this morning.
Well, I hope that person. I'm always curious when I'm on these shows, like what happens when they listen to it. Do you get anybody ever like going, "Hey, I talked to my girlfriend about the thing."
Like a follow up?
Yeah, the guy that was just asking us for help.
No follow up yet.
No follow up yet.
Yeah, none yet. Also, because I was for a while I was banking episodes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have. This most recent episode is with Steph Tolev. We recorded it like in September, and it just came out now, and it's like March. So it's like anyone who called in, it's like it's months later, you know?
Right.
So it's like I appreciate them calling in, and I'm no longer I'm out of the bank. So these episodes, they're coming out.
Nice.
We're answering. This guy, he's gonna get an answer to this in no less than a month.
I love it.
Yeah.
He remains nameless because he didn't say his name.
He didn't say it.
You're out there.
We're on a roll. Should we take one more?
Yes,
Let's do it.
Hey Jared, you're as cute as a little Easter bunny. It's John here from Australia. It's just after our gay Mardi Gras, so feeling a little empty, a little depressed. It might have been the Molly. So my question for you, advice you might have is you seem like a super confident guy. I am speaking at a conference pretty soon with too many people to think about in the audience. What little tricks do you have to be confident?
Hey,
Wow.
that's great. Do you want to start or should I?
Woo!
Vulnerability, not confidence. Refocus. It's not about being the biggest, coolest, baddest guy in a leather jacket. It's about being brave enough to just be yourself and just let people see it. And what you can't do it wrong. That's always helpful for me.
When you say you can't do it wrong, you mean if you're that, you won't do it wrong.
Sure.
Well,
Yes.
no, what do you
obviously,
mean?
you can do it wrong. You
Right.
could go up there and you could yell fire and
Right.
you know.
And he said he didn't say what he talks about. Is he like speaking on like we see like in a conference room and there's all these people?
In my mind, because he said a work presentation and there's a lot of people there. So in my mind, they're like in an auditorium.
Me too.
And maybe it's like maybe it's like a convention center. And he has to speak, and there's probably like a projector behind him, and he has like facts and numbers and things of this nature. But you just think this to yourself because it's true. You can't do it wrong. If you're nervous, how cute and how relatable and how young of you. Also, that's another one too. These are all my tricks. Whenever I'm nervous, I'm like, you're the youngest person. You can't be old and nervous. If you're like nervous, you're like, oh no, how will I do? Will they like me? You're like a 16-year-old baby with tight skin and a beautiful glowing neck. So just you can't do it wrong, and any weakness is a strength if you really think about it.
You know, I was thinking about like sometimes my brother will ask me or a friend like when I go out on stage now, not in the old days, but like now, are you nervous?
Yeah.
And I go because I used to be nervous going out for auditions. Oh Jesus,
sure.
it was just horrible. I hated it. But I'm not nervous when I go perform, especially now.
Yeah.
I get rambunctious. I want to get up there.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
too.
You get hungry.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to just get started.
You want to get up there.
Yeah.
I say, when you see me pacing, I'm not nervous. I want to get out there.
Yeah.
And I said, maybe it's because I'm prepared.
Yeah.
Preparation. Because I was nervous for acting because I didn't know my lines. It was hard for me to learn my lines. And so maybe
And you got the sides we sent you, right?
Oh, we do. Oh.
You're ready, right? We're doing a scene.
So, in a way, I want to show you how bad I am if I had to do it. Well, I wouldn't be nervous here, maybe, so I'd be okay.
Yeah.
But so be whatever you're talking about. Just have it down. Have it down.
Yeah, preparation's really gonna help.
And notes. I know this seems lame. It is lame and it isn't lame. I always tell comedians this, like newer comedians.
Yes.
I go, don't write your notes that you can't read them.
Yes.
Like black Sharpie, this person probably has some. Make sure that you can glance down with an eye and catch everything. You'd be surprised how many times you get off because you're nervous.
Yes.
Maybe when you're looking at it at your house, you can tell that this is different, but make sure they're separated. Circle it. Go red, black with your notes.
You're so impaired when you're nervous.
Yeah, you're looking, you're not focusing. And I make sure that my notes can be read when you're nervous.
Yes.
When you're anxious, when you're, at a glance. So there's something.
The first time that I did an hour was at a college, and I brought on stage my water. It was an unopened glass Perrier, the little kind. So to open it, it's metal, and you really gotta get it open. And I'm nervous. So I tried probably 4 times throughout the set to go open it. And as soon as was met with resistance, stopped. I didn't take a sip of
I
water
get
for
it.
one full hour. My throat was so dry by the end of it. And I thought, okay, like next time you do this, have the water ready to be drinked.
It's weird how long you could do something so simple. This has to do with me with water. I've been doing comedy a long time. And in Philadelphia, when I was there, I was at this place called Next in Line. And I go, Todd, take your goddamn cap off the water.
Yeah, because you're
Take it
afraid
off.
it's gonna spill off the stool.
Me,
That's
yeah.
the thought, but you're like, no, it won't. And get it off.
Get it off the water and get it off. Just take it off. Because every time I go to drink, I would slow me down.
Because you're holding a mic, you only have one hand.
Right.
You can't, and then they're seeing you fumble, and then you forget that is like you have this like caveman brain where you're like, if they see me fumble, they will perceive me as weak, and it's a whole other thought process, but.
Maybe open the thing. Like, I don't know what he talks about, but maybe open the thing. Go, this is off topic, but I always like to open up everything I do with something, an old Mr. Rogers quote that I really like.
Yeah.
Because you can't go wrong with that. And maybe it could sort of have something to do with what he talks about, but it doesn't have to at all. Just maybe that would relax him to quote something that is just a ironclad, 100% going to get a laugh or going to get even, oh, yeah, that's great, Totally. So maybe that's
manipulate
a good way.
the crowd into being nice to you.
Yeah, because you know what? Once you get one, as we know, one laugh, one hearty laugh, you're usually relaxed.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't have to. It doesn't have to be a laugh. It could be heartwarming. It could be just something you quote that's really cool and really unique and that everybody hasn't heard. Make sure it's that. But anyway, there you go, sir. Where is he from? Australia?
Yeah.
Wow.
Another thing you could do, have someone terrible open for you for 5 minutes. That'll do another college. I was at performing at college, and they had like a student open for me. And he was perfectly fine, but he was a college student who was just trying stand-up for 5 minutes. And it went very poorly, and it made me so confident. I've never been more relaxed to do an hour. I was like, oh, I'm a professional. I was asked to be here as a professional. Yeah. I'm so relaxed. It was like the opposite of imposter syndrome. And that really, so maybe if there's someone in the office who is a terrible public speaker, have them introduce you. They will fumble. They will do such a bad job. And you'll go, oh, that's the dummy. I'm good. I'm golden. I'm walking out of here scot-free.
And then when you go up, this person you asked, just go up there and go like this. You go, pfft.
Yeah, really rub it in. But also, I had like a self-help book phase where I read a bunch, and I don't remember which one it was, but they were specifically talking about confidence and about how confidence isn't a thing. It's not a real thing. You can't touch it. You can't it's not confidence. So when you're seeing someone confident who you're perceiving, they're not performing confidence, they're performing something that they do, and they're focused on that, and they're doing it well, and everyone around them is assigning confidence to them. They're not up there thinking about confidence, they're up there doing something that we're all watching. So if you want to be confident, that's for other people to decide. It's their perception, and all you need to do is focus on the thing that you're doing. And if you're up there focusing on your presentation, then they will be allowed and able to see you as confident. Because if you're up there thinking about your confidence, you're going to be distracted and not doing a great job at your job. And I thought that was really very true, and it unlocks some stuff. Like, I feel like we put so much emphasis on confidence, and I think it's a very, I'll say it, American thing. And I know you're Australian calling in, but yeah, be prepared. Like you said, focus on the work. And it's like, if you're prepared and you do the work, don't worry about that other thing. Because so often too, people think you're confident and you're just not. Like sometimes I'm so nervous and they go, you seem so relaxed up there.
I know, you never know, do you?
No, people don't even know. They don't even know.
Sometimes they can, obviously, but more than not, they can't. I think I'm both. My ex we were talking about that. Like if I go into a room and I think everybody likes me, I will be very, guess you could say, confident. Yeah. Like if I go in a room and I'm pretty sure the vibe of the room is, on the road, a green room or a comedy festival. When I go into a room, I know what it's like to be nervous. I remember, Mr. Rogers said, this ties together. Yeah. The best way to deal with kids or young children is never forget what it's like to be a child. Mm-hmm. Never forget. Remember, you got embarrassed. You got all the things. You have a right just because you're somebody's parents, you have a right, and children, remember every emotion you had as a child. Don't forget it. So I feel that way about moving to LA and how nervous I was. And the little act of kindness made me so much, oh my God, it could change my whole night. Someone in the hallway of the Melrose Improv being sweet to me. You know, I was like 23 years old. So I do that. Don't forget someone in this room might be nervous. So I go in, first thing I try to do, I'll even ask if it's a new employee come in the room. I go, is everyone being nice to you? Anybody in the room? Anybody, all the staff? Yeah, I ask that. Same thing at Vaughn's. If I'm at Vaughn's and there's I go to the supermarket every day because I can't have food in my house because I have a problem with eating. Okay. So I know everybody there. And if there's someone new, like a bagger, I go, you're new here, because I know when someone's new. I go, everyone being nice to you? This person? Everyone? Okay, because I'm in here every day. And but if I go into a room, like maybe I'm somewhere where I don't maybe think everybody likes me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm like just not confident, very quiet, very. I don't want to, like in my head, I think, if they don't like you, just shut up. Because if you keep, maybe they won't like you. They won't like you even more if you just take over. I don't. So I can be both. You ever experienced?
Well, I want your advice right now, actually, because I have this thing of like when I go to a business all the time and they start to know me and they start to know my order, I get so embarrassed and I feel bad. Isn't that weird? And I want to work through it, but I'm like. I think it happened to me last night.
You're talking about like you go to a restaurant?
Yeah, or a cafe. And it's coffee and last night I was at a Thai restaurant and I go a lot and the guy...
What Thai food? Do you mind if I ask?
Green leaves.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's vegetarian and they have I really like their green curry with tofu. And I sat down and I saw the guy that I see. I said hello and then I said I'll have a green curry, and he goes with tofu. And I was like, I felt so embarrassed. That I was like, oh, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm forcing them to serve me, or like, I'm like, it happens a lot with coffee too. I'll go into a coffee shop if I'm going in regularly and they know what I want. It feels like because I showed up, I'm forcing them to do it or something.
Jared, here's what you do.
Yeah.
And your waiter comes over to the table, you go, look. I'm sorry, I can't stop bringing that
Look,
back.
I have a lot of insecurities and I'm projecting them onto you.
I hope this is great advice. If it's not, or halfway decent.
Yeah.
So when it ties back, I promise. When someone would come up to me after a show, maybe say something nice, I would go, and talk and say stuff and maybe go, wasn't that good? Or that's the show.
Yeah.
And I go, I never know what to say when someone compliments me.
Yeah.
And my brother would say, look, years ago, and he wasn't being mean. He goes, just try saying thank you. Yeah. And ever since then, I go, oh, thank you. I go, believe me, I appreciate it. I don't mean to bother you. I go, you're not. I appreciate it.
Hey, yeah.
I know I've been in the same situation where I'm a little afraid to go up to someone, and you were probably the same way. I appreciate you going up to me. It made me feel good. Yeah. So maybe with you, it's the something to say. Maybe it's like, I go, no one knows it better than you. Or I go,
find a little quip.
Yeah, it's always easier when, something. I don't want to say it now because it's too many words, but find something to go, that whatever it is, like you know it, you know what I mean. That's not it, not that, not that. No, not that. That's horrible. That's horrible. Please erase that. But I don't mean that. I just meant find out what it is, because now it's like looking at my notes. My head's spinning too much.
Yes.
But in a place of calm, find out what that thank you is, quick and easy, that you won't. I'm trying to think at the...
Like, I think they're judging me, which is crazy.
They're not, by the way.
They're not.
But that doesn't help you, because you know they're not judging you.
Yeah.
You think they are, but you also, the other side, because they're not. So telling you they're not judging you isn't going to help you right now, because you deep down know they're not.
I almost can think like, but this would involve so much effort. Like the quip that would help me through that is from when he goes... with tofu is for me to be like, hey, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Like something like that. But it's like, here's where I think it comes from. I think, and we're going to go wide and sit down. And I'm not going to say this quickly. I'm going to take my time. It's because I'm gay. Yeah, it's because I'm gay. I think because like I was so embarrassed of the things that I liked because they were gay stuff. Like when I was a kid, I just am naturally embarrassed with everything I like. Like when I share things I like with people, even if they are not, sex with men, it's something that makes me feel like I'm like, oh, I like this thing and I should be embarrassed. And like, now you know something about me and like, you're going to think I'm like dumb because I like something.
Wow. That's like, I relate with that at a certain level of, you know, like I always tell people, I'm fine. I'm fine. My parents were cool with it. Everything. but I say it because how much being in the closet has affected me in ways that I'm still learning. And it's like, I'm fine. I'm not, woe is me. I'm not, but to understand that, you know, yeah, it's good. Like, you know, when people come around, like they came around, my problem isn't that they came around to gay marriage. Like, that's good. That's what we want people to change. But what irritates me is that you need to know the carnage that you've left behind. Not to be mean, not to judge you. You weren't okay with gay marriage, and now you are. That's what we want. I get it.
But what about...
But the new thing now, don't do the same thing with the new group. And that's my problem when people go, well, he grew, they grew, who grew, everybody grew. Now there's a new group crying. There's a new group saying, not crying, new group asking for what they're deserving of. Yeah. And you're giving them a hard time. So it doesn't seem like you learned
your lesson.
The carnage you left behind.
Yes.
Carnage is a weird word, but you know what I mean?
No, but it is that. But it literally is.
Right.
I mean, talk about like Reagan, like carnage, true carnage left behind.
So the reason I think they need to know, even if they go, oh, I'm all right, that to know, it's like when someone's an alcoholic and then they go through recovery, and let's say they've been clean, they have to go to like their mom, their brother, and say, you know, I'm sorry. That's not, well, they're already clean, so why would they have now that? Yeah, it's the same thing. It's to go, you need to know, to stay strong, what you did to these people. And when you say you're sorry, they're going to cry, you're going to cry, you're going to. So I always say, like, that what you know, just, we need to remind people that, like, you know, be careful, like whatever group you're giving a hard time now, you're going to change the rest of their life. Yeah. Because they just didn't have something they should have had. They weren't. So
these things have effects that last forever. Mm-hmm. It's like when people are like, you know, the Delta flight that crashed, but no one died. They're like, but no one died. I'm like, none of them are fine. None of them are fine. They're all gonna think about this for the rest of their lives. They were in a plane that crashed.
The one that hung upside down?
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I don't wear a seatbelt on an airplane 95% of the time.
You got it.
I don't know why. On this flight I did. I thought, oh my God, I would have just fell on the floor.
Yeah, you would have broke your neck. Or if when the window comes off, you're getting sucked out.
Oh, hot.
You're instantly getting sucked out. So you got to wear the seatbelt the whole time.
So in answer to what you said, you know, I went a little wider on it as far as like, he had a big question. How do you be confident? That's a really big question. And then you're saying about when you make your order, what is it? What is it? Like, you know, sharing with people something. But I have this one place, they know my coffee drink at the gym. And now but it's funny. There's
also the embarrassment of like, I feel like a marionette where I'm like, you know what I'm going to say, but I still need to say it because I still need to be, but I don't know. There's something about like that. I'm like, how much do you want me to say of the order? Because right. You know it. I know you know it. And you know what I'm about to say. So I start to feel like we're doing this weird, like we're both puppets.
Well,
kinda, and that feels weird too.
It's a slow, because, you know, I don't use the one gym that I go to. I never knew there was a coffee place right next door. So I started going there. And it started as a slow thing. At first, I would just order my drink. She didn't know me. And then one time I go, can I get a iced coffee? She goes, without ice, right? She goes, in cream? Because it's already in a pitcher, but I just don't want ice on top of it.
Completely.
So, and then eventually I would just walk in, you know, and I would just give her a second, and she'd usually go, iced coffee, nothing. I go,
yeah.
Thank you.
And it does make you feel good. And there are times when people know my order, and I go, oh, it's like last night when he said with tofu, it made me feel warm. But then the second thing I think is like, oh, like you're imposing on them or something.
It's probably it probably makes it easier. Think about it. Their whole transition is like, yep, you got it. Instead of having to hear or listen or remember, all you're doing is having a kind interaction that involves none of their memory or none of them having to explain that's on the menu to you. Not that they mind doing that either.
Sure.
But there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're now a confident person. Enjoy. Okay, can we play a game?
As long as it's not Candyland.
It's not Candyland, but it is. It's trivia based, and it's called Sorry Who. And I never know who anyone's talking about ever. So I'd like to find out my guests, you know, where they're at on that as well.
Oh, I love this.
Okay, great. So I'm going to describe some famous people. You're going to tell me who they are, and if you don't know who they are, you're going to say Sorry Who. And for everyone you get wrong, nothing happens.
Okay.
Okay. This is Sorry Who with Todd Glass. The second president of the United States.
Oh. Sorry, who?
No, it's hard. This is so hard.
Yeah,
it's
sorry,
John
who?
Adams.
Wow. Okay.
You know what's amazing? Everyone knows the first president of the United States. I would say 1 in 9 people
George Washington?
know the second. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So the drop off in knowing who the second one is like crazy.
I'm bad with a lot of that stuff.
Oh, I'm horrible, and that's why I invented. I knew none of these answers, by the way. Okay, director of Blade Runner.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who?
Ridley Scott.
Okay.
All right, you're 0 for 2. This is tough. Author of The Old Man and the Sea.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who?
Ernest Hemingway. Again, I didn't know these. I'm laughing in your face, but no judgment.
You know what I'm good at?
What?
Which I just say real quick before we go further. Like, when it's comedians. Like, I was sitting on the plane next to these women, and they were trying to figure out comedians, and I felt like a savant.
Yeah.
They're like, who's that guy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, boom. Oh, you probably won't help you, but he's this and that. I go, oh, boom. I felt like I knew my shit.
Wow.
But let's keep going.
The host of Family Feud.
Oh, okay, I know who it is. No, I know who it is. Steve Harvey.
Yes.
By the way, Steve Harvey is a guy, I don't care, that's going to go to his death saying, if it's a guy, do you have a girlfriend? If it's a girl, do you have a boyfriend? You know, in their young family. He's just going to go to his death on that. He's not going to ever go, he's just good for you. I hope you feel proud because it's a choice.
Yeah.
At this point, it's a choice. 20 years ago,
Did someone
not
call
a
him out
choice.
or something?
No, but I noticed it.
Oh.
I noticed it. I went, he just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to understand,
Yes.
go for that. You know, they go, they might not be, But anyway,
all right, I'll
Steve
scratch
Harvey.
him from the game.
No.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, the host of Deal or No Deal.
Deal or no? Oh, Howie Mandel. Is it a new person now?
What do you mean? No.
Oh, okay.
No, you got it right. Okay, the Duchess of Sussex.
Oh, who? I'm sorry, who?
Meghan Markle.
Oh, okay.
The director of Jurassic Park.
It's not Steven Spielberg. Steven
It is Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
You got it. Okay. Director of The Godfather.
Okay, the director Godfather. Does he have big eyebrows? Crazy eyebrows? No, that's.
I don't know if he's known for that.
That's from not Goodfellas. The movie Don Rickles was in along Casino. He had big eyebrows. Say it again. Who it is? Say the question.
The Godfather. The director of The Godfather.
I'm sorry. Who?
It is Francis Ford Coppola.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a hard one. Won Best Actress for Monsters Ball.
Oh, Halle Berry.
Yes.
Jesus,
correct.
goddamn.
Okay, here's another
I'm
one.
so excited.
Played Ray Charles in the movie Ray.
Oh, you know who it is. You just can't think of their name. I'm not saying I should get a point.
No, but I
I'm
think
just
you
saying,
get a point.
Yeah. He just had a health scare.
He did.
He'd had a health scare. Let me think of it.
You'll get it. Just take a breath. It's in your head.
Okay, hold on.
Look. There you go.
I hate that laugh. I don't like either. I look like Herman Munster.
We'll cut it.
And don't use that as a meme. Okay, say it again just so I can get it in my head.
Played Ray Charles in the movie Ray.
Okay. Black guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of it.
I'll give you half a point.
Give me his first initial of his first name.
J.
J?
Yeah, and that's also the first sound of his name. J.
Give me the first initial of his last name.
F. It's J.F. Harris.
It is?
No, it's Jamie Foxx.
Oh, Jamie Foxx.
You got it.
Okay, I knew you knew.
I knew you.
No.
Oh, 100%.
I'm having a rough month.
No points.
I really appreciate that.
Okay, the voice of Shrek.
Patton Oswalt. No, he needed a shout out. He asked me. He said if anything on the show.
Please.
I don't. Who? I'm sorry. Who?
You don't know that?
With the voice of. Oh.
You have it.
Shrek. Was he a sports person?
No.
No. Who's the? Oof. Give me his first name just for the hell.
Mike.
Mike Myers?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, cool.
Winner of 4 Stanley Cups.
Was it? Was he from Philadelphia originally?
Maybe.
Wayne Gretzky?
Yeah, correct.
Shut the up.
You
God
got
damn.
it.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
That did hurt.
Oh, it probably did. I'm
but it's
sorry.
fine. And you are on camera.
Oh, I'm not gonna get a legal letter. That's how excited I feel. Bad. I want to just squeeze it a little so I know the pain.
I have some wine to kind of drown my sorrows. And finally, played Griselda Blanco in Griselda.
Nick Thune. He asked me to mention.
That's
his
correct.
Name too.
It's
I
Nick
knew it was
Thune.
Nick Thune. I was so sure.
Nick Thune did
No,
a great
say.
job.
I'm sorry. Who?
Sofia Vergara.
Oh, Sofia Vergara.
Yeah. That was Sorry Who.
Wow. How'd I do? I did okay.
You did great.
Ooh,
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah, some people really struggle. Some people blow my mind. You know who did amazing?
Let's see.
Now I'm Sorry Who did amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
is he shaved head?
Roy Scovel
Rory Scovel.
did a great job.
Roy
Knew all
Scovel.
of them. And didn't think he'd know any of them.
Yeah, he's got. I'm not big on
Roy Scovel.
No, I love Rory.
Yeah.
I love Rory Scovel. Rory Scovel. Oh boy,
He's so great.
We just have some great silly times together. Pure joy with being around Rory Scovel.
Yeah, I miss him.
I know he moved to Denver.
He did.
He moved
All right,
to Denver.
dox him on the pod.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go see him in 2 weeks. I'm gonna be in Denver for a little while.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, doing some shows with Gary Goldman, and then see my ex, and then also hang out with Rory Scovel.
That sounds like a perfect trip to Denver.
It's gonna be I consider it a vacation.
Have you? There's a restaurant there. It's a cafe. It's called the Wooden Spoon. Do you know about it?
No.
Okay. So my trips to Denver for food have been tough. So much so that I'm just going, I don't think the food is here in Denver. I don't think they have it. There's no good food in Denver. And I have some friends who are from Denver, and he was like, you know what? Go to the Wooden Spoon. And on my last trip, I was there for what comedy festival is there in Denver?
I didn't even know there was.
There is one.
Yeah, you're right. I did it. It was so much fun.
I always forget the name of it.
Yeah. Okay.
What is it? Okay. Yeah, he's Googling it. High Plains. I always want to say
High Plains. It's High Plains.
Flyover. And because it's high, I think of flyover, and I'm just my across, but whatever.
Could you edit the part out and let me look like I got it?
100%.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm going to cut the
whole... the Denver Comedy Festival. Oh, High Plains.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
We were at High Plains, and he said, go to the Wooden Spoon, and I went, and it was so fucking good.
Wow.
They're known for their green chilies. You got to get some green chili, which is just a green spicy chili. And I got a breakfast sandwich, but I said, hey, can you do it on a croissant? And they said, sure. And it was like egg and sausage, and it's like, made in-house. When there's an in-house sausage on the menu.
Wait, in-house sausage, but you don't eat meat, right?
I do.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh, okay, because you were saying tofu, so I thought.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. No, you mentioned Thai food. And I always say even bad Thai food is great, and then great Thai food
literally.
is great. Right. It's
like,
going to be.
You can't get a bad curry.
Yeah,
the worst curry is fine.
Bad Thai food, not that great isn't better.
Yes.
If you get bad, it's just.
You can have bad Chinese food, and you're going, what the fuck is this?
But bad Thai, when we say bad, we mean, the cheap Thai food. It's 1 a.m.
Yes.
It's going to be still
good.
Okay.
Yes. I had good bad Thai food in Utah. Like that should have been horrific. And, because I guess it's just curry powder and coconut milk and vegetables.
I was at a place, and this has to do with Thai food.
Yeah.
That they had grits and shrimp. Yes. It was like a bowl with grits in it. And I thought, oh, this is like a Thai, So I started doing this thing, like if I have like 4 or 5 people over, I'm not a good cook, but I can. And I thought, well, like a Thai dish with shrimp in it is what? It's like with the
like tom yum soup. I'm just saying.
No, it's got, like you said before, it's
coconut milk and curry paste.
What's that called? What's that with the shrimp and the whatever? You just said it's got coconut milk. It's very sweet. What's that dish called?
Curry. Thai curry.
Yeah, so to get Thai curry, right?
Yes.
Get it with shrimp. I think it works better.
It's beautiful.
And then I just got grits. Now, again, I'm lazy, so I just got instant grits, but I made 2 packets per bowl. And so I wanted it to be hard.
Yes.
And then 2 packets, add not enough water on purpose. Just enough. And then I would just push it on the sides of the bowl.
Yeah.
And then just when it was thick. And then I would you could live it out for 2 hours if you wanted. And then I'd have 6 or 7 bowls of it. Just push use instant grits if you have to.
Yeah.
Use twice the amount of grits.
Yeah.
Little water.
To the water ratio.
And then I just ordered the
Thai food.
The Thai.
Yeah.
And then just, as people wanted it, they put it in the bowl. The reason the grits has to be so thick is because once the hot water hits it, you don't want it to just fall apart.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
It's so good.
That
sounds great.
The grits, the texture of the grits, and then you get a chunk of it with the
because it's an alternative to rice. It's
right.
grits. And it's got some hearty,
Yeah, the grits taste good anyway.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Way to go. Go out, go home, make that. Make that. Try it. Take a picture, tag us. Okay, so we have one more voicemail. Is that correct?
Yeah.
There's one more voicemail, and we play. Okay, let's do it. Let's take it.
Hi, Jared and esteemed guest. I have a tricky situation I really need your help with. I am just a delight in my office. I am so much fun to be around and talk to, and therefore I make friends with my coworkers really easily. Sometimes it's nice, but other times, such as this situation, I don't know how to backpedal out of forging this friendship. I have a coworker who will tell me about his weekend escapades in a way and level of detail I simply don't want to know, and I need it to stop. He's not my boss or manager. I don't really know that it's something I want to go to HR about because I want to be like cool and chill, but I do need him to stop telling me about who he's fingered this weekend. So please help.
Wow. I feel like you probably have this problem yourself. You're a gregarious, open guy. Do you ever find yourself like, oh man?
You know, I have a wider answer to this. And I used to have a friend. He unfortunately died about a year ago, and it was rough because he was a friend of mine. I've known him forever. He had a very, this all leads back. He had a very, very bad drug problem, but we were friends through it all. Like no, and I never did drugs really. He had pot, and that's about it, and mushrooms. And he then cleaned
You're
himself
high right
up.
now.
What?
You're high right now.
I'm not. I usually would smoke in the car, get here early, but I didn't. But he cleaned himself up and became a therapist, and he's a good one. And the reason I tell the first part is it's fun. It's nice to get therapy and answers from someone who did the work. Not that there's not great therapists. Of course there are that never had. But Kevin cleaned himself up, and he would give me advice. And they say you're not supposed to give, therapists aren't supposed to help their friends. And he said, and I asked him about that. He goes, look, and I think he liked helping me. I like to believe he did.
Of course.
Because for a long time, he was the trouble in my life.
Isn't it annoying if I were to sit here and go, I bet he didn't like you.
I bet he didn't like giving you advice.
Your friend give him free from you.
Yeah, thanks.
He was your friend. He probably liked it.
But I'm sure it would, I think especially because for a long time I was the rock, and for me to call him and need him advice, not need him to help me move. And he would give me such good, clean advice. Like someone that before we had our phones would give you good directions, like not bullshit advice. And sometimes I would go, Kevin, I think you could answer this in literally 15 minutes. So do you have 15 minutes? And he would call me and he would give me, it worked. I mean, this was great advice. And I wish there was a service like that. Not look, if you're dealing with maybe problems, sometimes you probably don't realize that you're dealing with problems that are from when you were a kid, but let's say they're not. These are just like this problem. This could be answered without knowing, wish there was maybe there is even a phone, a place you could call, and you just want somebody that has, good, clean advice. Now, you might get someone with shitty advice, but hopefully you'll get someone with good advice, and maybe you said, you don't want to go every week. You just need, because Kevin was my rock. Like I would go, Kevin, this is something to do with my mom. I'm going home. I have to know how to deal with something. He'd give me what he calls line reads. Like he would go, Todd, I'll just give you the line read. Like, here's what you say to your mom. And it worked. It worked. And this is one of those situations. I don't know what she should do, but I feel for her. Like, how do you stop that without shitty advice? Like we've been joking the whole time, or this or that. But it just seems like, I wouldn't even know where to start. So because I feel for her. That's why I laugh when she goes, I don't need to know who he fingered.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, my friend, maybe this does lead to it a little. One time my friend was, because everyone knew Kevin, and they would say when he was over my house, and he didn't mind, he would go, there's a guy at my gym. This is one of them, and he's in the dry sauna. He's what was he doing? He was listening to his music loud or blowing his nose into his hand or something, whatever it was, doing something wrong. And my friend, and he goes, what do I do? What do I say? And everybody's expecting him to go, you say this. And he goes, what do you really want out of this? What do you want if you say something? He would always say this. He goes, you want me to tell you? I think I know what you want. We'll speed this up. He goes, you want harmony? If I'm wrong, tell me. He goes, yeah, I want harmony in the dry sun. I want to be in there. He goes, do you think you're going to get it from talking to somebody that's doing what they're doing? And it doesn't say you should never bring up things if it's going to make you awkward or uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
But like in a situation like this, she probably wants harmony. And then she has to think, is she tough-skinned enough that if she says something and then he gets annoyed and looks at her every day and thinks you have to think about that.
Yeah.
Like, and if you can go, yeah, I'm okay with that. Anything to stop him, but you have to think, am I tough-skinned enough? Because one time I was on the airplane before Kevin gave me advice, and there was a guy behind me talking things into his phone. He was a doctor. And he was like, on May 5th, Blondie Love, Carrie Man, blah, blah, blah. And it took a lot because I know, I turned around and I went, sir, could you do me a favor? And I go, how could I say this? And so if there's any way, I say this, is there any way I could ask you to do this where you wouldn't hate me? But you're very loud and I can't be in my... He goes, well, if you were nice about it, and I swear to you, the guy next to me went, he was.
Ah!
And I was like, thank you. I was like, oh,
a champion.
Thank you, sir.
Wow.
But guess what? The heat coming from his eyes.
Into the back of your head for the whole flight.
I would have rather had him reading into his phone for another 15,
he probably would have
minutes.
stopped in a few minutes.
Probably would have stopped in a few minutes. But this is a different situation. So all I can say is good luck.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Well, I always say, I'm a coward. Don't show your hands. Don't show your hand.
Don't admit it's you that's complaining?
Yes. If you can find a way out, because you have to work with this person. On that flight, it's finite. You're gonna get off the flight and you move on. I had a similar situation recently at a movie where there was a group of people behind me talking, and I was sitting there going okay, how many talkings can I decide that it's now appropriate to say something and that the talking is not casual and it's not going to end? And I waited a lot, and there was a lot of talking, and I felt extremely confident that if I did not say anything, they would talk the whole movie. And I, had a lot of time to overthink and feel like I'm the bad guy. Meanwhile, if the roles were reversed, or I told a story about, hey, so I was talking during this movie, and all these people turned around and they said, stop talking. Can you believe that? Everyone in my life would be like, no, you shouldn't have been talking. What are you talking about? So I mustered up enough to turn around, and I was so rehearsed in my mind of how to say it in a way that didn't sound crazy. But I forget what I said. Essentially, it was just like, hey, do you think you can keep it down? And they were so extremely responsive to it in a way that felt amazing.
They weren't mean.
Experience. No,
that's not the norm. That's not the norm.
Not the norm.
But maybe you didn't say it aggressively, but
I meant it. I was feeling aggression going crazy through me. But it did work. And it's one of the few times it did work, because I find it often I try to be chill when I'm unchill, and my eyes give me away, and people go, whoa, okay.
What you said about don't show your hand, I relate with that a lot, and it's very good advice. I found that two situations real quick. One, if a neighbor's dog is barking,
yes,
do not... Even if they ask you, maybe someone else complained, they go, hey, does my dog bother you? Remember, you have to set this up. You have to go, no. I mean, I hear him a little bit. Do not let them know that, and then deal with it another way.
Trust
Call the
no
cops. I'm seriously, well, I know in LA it might be a lot to call the cops, but for that. But leave a note.
Yeah.
Have someone else leave a note that doesn't know them, so when they see it in their mailbox, it could be a nice note.
Yeah.
But just don't, because then especially when you live next to this person, so don't ever just be nice, so they'll never think it's you.
Yeah.
And the other time it happened, same thing with you. I went to see somebody at the a show at it doesn't matter what theater, and the people next to us wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And it was ruining it. Even, what I know? It changed my announcement when I'm at comedy clubs, when I say why to put your phone away.
Yeah.
I go, because I remember thinking, the other guy next to me had his light all the way off, but it still bothered me that he was looking at it. Still
at a
bothered
movie?
me. No, at a show.
Oh, at a comedy show.
No, it was Paul Anka. who's an old crooner from like
Oh,
he's like an 80-year-old
his
guy.
light was all the way down and it was bothering
Light was already
you.
down. And but by the way, the people next to me were talking in there, and the other guy's light was up. But I thought, even when the light's down, like the energy, I want someone next to me loving it like me, you know? So I changed my announcement. I go, even if you're like, put your phone away. But the thing is, I didn't want to say anything, because if I did, it would ruin it. So I went again next year, and you know what I did? I thought it through. I brought a gun. I brought a taser. I purposely, when I was at Vaughn's, I wanted to get a $50 bill. It's worth $50. And I go, I'm going to go out. I'm going to be all friendly. It smiles. Because sometimes people could be talking on their phone and look at you once in a while, and in the night, you know, whatever, you go, be all nice. I'm going to go out to the usher, because would 20 work? Would 20, yeah. Oh, no. Would 20 work? 25 work? Yeah, but I thought, well, there's 5 of us. Get 50 and go and be real polite. Go, hey, how you doing? You know, the people next to us, I don't want to be the bad guy. For $50.
Will you be the bad guy?
They would do it graciously. They would be like, hey, thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate that.
Of course.
And I didn't need to do it. But whenever I do something like that, now, not a movie, because I'm not going to give $50 at a movie.
I'm imagining you going to the ATM, getting all ready.
No, but
driving so out of the way to
at a show where you paid good money and it's, you know, something you might never see again.
Yeah.
So I just had that $50 bill in my wallet, and if I needed it, I wasn't going to be the bad guy. Because at the first time we went, we ended up getting out of our seats. And you know, I've gone to enough shows, like when I'm opening up for somebody, and you know, we know how to sneak into places. Because very rarely, when I'm with like Jim Gaffigan or somebody like that, and I'm backstage and I don't have a pass, I just go into the theater. I stand on the side. If they do, if an usher goes, you know, maybe they didn't see me open the show, it happens. I go, oh, I'm the opening act. But I go, so we just went up and we stood on the side. We both were dressed sort of, you know, like we might be if we were with Paul Anka, like his manager or an agent or something. We had like, you know, I wore like a jacket and a shirt. And so we just stood on the side, and it was so much better. And we're both like, oh, I'm so glad that we went up there and got away from those people. But yeah, that was my plan.
Yeah,
not be show my cards, as you say.
I love that as a directive. Like I'm going to this thing tonight. Like, what should I wear? And you're like, dress like you're going to see Paul Anka.
Yeah, you're with his,
right.
You're with his crew or something.
Yeah.
But you know, it's funny that you say that you thought I was going to give the $50 to them.
Yes, that's
I know.
what
I thought you thought that.
Because then I thought that could go wild. That could blow up in your face wild. Like they'd be like, fuck you, like really pissed.
No, I would have needed 5 $50 bills.
Yeah, that's actually so smart to give it to the usher to do that.
And it really did change my what I tell the staff when I'm at comedy clubs. I go, what you really want to be aware of is that someone could be just ruining it. They don't have to be loud enough that the whole room hears.
Yeah.
They could be just loud enough for 20 people around them, or 11.
Yes.
I go, you need to I tell the doorman always, very nice, the first night at a club, I go, plant yourself all over. Because sometimes you think it was a great crowd, and someone after the show will be like, hey, that was so much fun. The people next to us didn't shut up. So I tell the staff, I go, you know, real nice, whoever's the door people, I go, just make sure you plant yourself all over the room. And if you have to stand beside somebody, just because sometimes that's the best way to train them, you know, just go near someone that's talking and stand there. You don't even say anything right up front. I go, don't stand there. If you can. I'm very nice the way I say it. I go, don't stand behind them mad. Don't stand behind them like a door. Stand behind them and laugh at the show. And teach, and then they see you there. You know what I mean? Not overlap, but like take in the show. Laugh, because you train them. Like I go, please move yourself around this room, because I know what it's like to go. And I think of somebody, and I am very, very, very aware of it from the opening announcement I make at my own shows. I make the voice of God. I do it myself. Yeah. Because in all corners of the room, I don't want someone spending their hard-earned money. Sometimes people drive to see a show, spend money that they don't really have. Yeah. Or shouldn't be spending. So I don't want them to be near people that talk. You know, they always talk about hecklers. And yeah, that's bad. But to be honest, hecklers, that's easy to deal with, the doormen tell me. Because they know that's wrong. If you go, hey guys, do me a favor. I know you're having fun.
Smaller egregious.
The loud talking, people act so that's the thing I'm
egregious? Is that a word? Egregious?
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
I think I just made up a new word. Sorry, anyway.
No, that's it. All from that person saying, you know, don't let this person know. And I understand she doesn't want to go to HR, but maybe there's somebody can go, you know, somebody that you can trust. That's the important part. Yeah. That maybe, you know, if I was that person and she asked me and I worked there, somehow I would like probably go over to that person and go, hey, no big deal at all. Yeah. But I heard a few things you said, and you know, I don't know. They probably don't even mind it, but just be careful in the workplace that That way you have someone else be the bad person.
Totally.
Maybe like your idea, don't show your hand. What did you call that? Don't show
your cards?
Yeah. I like it.
I think I said your hand. Whatever. But I think I had a similar situation with like I got into an Uber at like 5 a.m. and the driver was like so gregarious and I was just like, okay, like it is 5 a.m. We're going to the airport. Like I just don't have this right now. And I was like, if I just give him just barely enough that I'm acknowledging that he's speaking to me, but not any more to encourage more speaking, then that is a way out in its own way. I got what I wanted, but it felt bad. Like once he went quiet, I was like, I feel like I snuffed out someone's joy just now. So I think maybe you just take it. And maybe you listen to who we fingered this weekend. Maybe you need to hear it.
Maybe there's not one answer for everything. Like maybe sometimes you do take it. Part of being a human being and being sweet and somebody.
Remember COVID and you were home in Zoom?
Yeah.
And you were just begging to get back to the office. Well, guess what? You're back in the office, bitch. And you have to listen to him talk about who he's fingering.
Ask him questions. You go, how deep did you go in with your fingers? Maybe outgrow some out.
Yes.
So what do you do to you?
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, the thing in the car, I usually get into an Uber, and 85% of the time I don't really want to talk.
Yes.
But there are times when I do. I'm in the mood to talk. But the thing is, the respect goes both ways. I can tell when they don't want to talk, and I leave them alone. But nevertheless, not all people do that. So I get in very friendly. I get in with a big hello, and then I just get my headphones on real quick.
Yeah.
Before I have to be rude to them, I go,
you make a big show of it?
Yeah. I go, nice car. Is this a new car? I go, God, they did a good job at it. I want to know there's a good energy in the car. And then I put the headphones in. I did it at the gym the other day, and I felt bad because I didn't even have music on, but I knew this guy would not shut the fuck up. Yeah. And so when he asked me a question, you know what I did? I didn't answer, and then he said it again, and I went, and I took my headphones out. I put on a big show. Yeah, let them know it's working. Make it look like,
you're so belabored.
I tried to pause it.
You put your reading glasses on?
Yeah.
And it's an iPad?
Hold on, I'm just trying to stop. I'm listening to a song. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've helped 3 people.
I hope.
Yes. What I do want to know before you go, what advice are you giving yourself this week? I can go first if it helps.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I also haven't thought of it.
It's a good question.
It's a good question, right? Okay. The advice that I'm giving myself this week is maybe a detour is a new path in the right direction.
And specifically, like, are you thinking about it for one?
I went to the Americana and
what's the Americana?
It's a mall.
Oh, where's that at?
In Glendale.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I went to a store that I had just been to, and I was like, you don't have to go back to the store. You're not going to find out anything new by going back to the store. And I was pleasantly surprised by an incredible sales associate who actually gave me a huge piece of intel, and I'll be doing that in the near future. So I thought I was derailing myself by wasting time, and really, I uncovered a piece of gold. So in life in general, and it could apply to like a bigger thing, like if a bad thing happens to you and now you have to sort of take a detour, maybe it's just a new, very good path and you just don't see it yet.
Wow. Can I tell you 2 things?
Sure.
Can I move this mic away and go get my phone real quick?
Of course, go get it.
Cool. I'll be right back.
Take your time.
Are you nervous, are you?
I'm already nervous. Too late. Yeah, it feels good to stand.
I want to throw some love somebody's way, and I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
Because I just found out about this person. You probably all know about him. Okay, so the advice I'm going to give myself will be, it's repeated advice, but I liked it. I'm getting ready to do this sort of like a 2-week residency during the New York Comedy Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Like the show I have with the band. And
oh, perfect.
by the way, if people go, it's Todd Glass, The Event of a Lifetime. There's like a 5-minute highlight reel on YouTube, just over on YouTube, 5 minutes. It really gives you a concept of the show. But I'm going to do a 2-week residency, go in.
Where are you doing it?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know yet. I'm going to go look at
Cool.
venues. But I want it to be like a jazz type of a club. Dark, tablecloths to the ground. Yes. When the guy directing my Netflix special said that, when he said black tablecloths to the ground, I go, he knows what I want.
He knows.
Lampshade. Like it looks swanky and dark and cool. But I want, anyway. And I heard, and things are going to happen. Now, it's not till November. and things are going to get in the way, and things are going to change, and I'm not going to have a trumpet player I wanted. And I heard this advice, and is that's sort of, what was the question again?
Oh, I said a detour is maybe just a new correct path.
Well, what was the overall thing?
What is the advice you're giving yourself this week?
Okay, so the advice I'm giving myself is, and I sometimes you hear these things and they're great. They really help you. And this is what I heard: treat something like that like a wedding. When you're planning a wedding, or and something happens and you don't get this cake you wanted, or something, very rare do you go, "We're going to call the wedding off." No, it's happening. So I thought this thing's happening, and you're going to get detoured, and things are going to happen, but you're doing it. So that's sort of
Treat it like a wedding.
Treat it like a wedding. Not that you should spend money on a wedding, but anyway. And this person, if you don't mind, I just thought I would on the way here. I go, you know what? I'm going to throw love their way. Hold on. They're just brilliant the way they talk, and they're going to be at the Vermont Comedy Club. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Take your time.
I know. Now it's like looking at my notes.
I have nowhere better to be.
All right,
than
thank
to
you.
sit
Thank
here
you.
and watch you scroll through your phone.
Lovely man. Vermont. You should go to the Vermont Comedy Club.
In Burlington?
Yes.
I opened for Lisa Traeger there once, and it was so fun.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun there. They let me really take over that place.
Did they?
Yeah, I do the black tablecloths. I do the band playing in the lobby as they're coming in.
Yeah? Oh, wow.
I make it swanky. We darken it up, and they graciously let me do everything I want. And it's already nice. And
because it is kind of dark in there. They do have a vibe.
They already have a vibe, but they let me take it to another level.
Take it.
The black tablecloths really change a room. It's like,
whoa.
But Saturday night, the staff, they melt my heart. They all came in dressed up. And the fucking place looked so good. It was like,
wait, that is so
sweet.
Fun and sweet.
It melts my heart. I wanted to tell them, you guys, that melts my heart.
That's really cool. Mm-hmm. I like that a lot.
On their own. That's why at the end of those shows, I just go out to the bar with all those windows out to the street and just hang out there with that staff. Because it's my happiest time in life, hanging out with a cool staff.
Yeah.
That dressed up. I was like, guys, you don't understand.
That's so sweet. I mean,
yeah. So hold on. So their name is, do you know this person?
Oh, Alok.
You know.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've met.
You have?
Yeah, we don't know each other well, but we both open for Jonathan Van Ness on the road.
Well, I just found out about them 3 weeks ago, and then I found out they're going to be at the Vermont Comedy Club. And it just, sometimes I have the right, my feelings are right, but I can't say it clean.
Yeah.
And they say things so clean and so precise that if you're a younger person or older, but younger, and you will change. Sometimes I don't say it good enough. My heart's in the right place, but they say it where I'm like, oh, I was saying that, but you're saying it better.
Yeah.
And one of the specific things that I loved was like, people always treat like learning about how people, mostly we're dealing with today, how people identify.
Yes.
There's a billion ways, but I love it. Yeah, break the confines of what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. And they said it better. They go, why do they look at it like it's a favor? Like it's a favor to learn the new terms. And I'm probably going to bastardize what they said, but they said, even if you're a white straight male, why are you done with expansion?
Yeah.
Like you might not have the growth that someone was hiding their sexuality or hiding what they wanted to wear, but even a white straight male, why are you done with expansion? And if you are, this is my ad to it. Don't giggle it. Don't giggle. Go, oh, I'm done growing. It's not cute. So take your little giggle and shove it up your ass.
Yeah.
If you want to go, I'm done redecorating my house, or I'm done learning new style, or my haircut's going to be the way it is. I'm wearing pleated pants. That's fine. But when you're done growing and learning how to treat other people, but it was that, and also saying when women, because I think a young person will hear this and go, is that true? It's something to do with when women wore pants, that was considered cross-dressing.
Yeah.
And that is like, that helps you go, I just picture a young kid going, is that true? Oh, they made a big deal about that? Yeah. Or Ms. Ms. was a big deal in the 70s. I remember being a little kid and my teacher went as Ms.
As opposed to Mrs.
As Mrs. or Mrs. Miss or Mrs. Now I totally understand that. That wasn't that crazy.
Yeah. Well, it just means you're not married, right?
Ms. or Mrs. I think what bothered women about that, which I understand. I hope it is. This is my that your being on Earth isn't whether you're married or not. Like,
right.
It's like no.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's not your
married
whole identity.
Or unmarried, yeah.
Yeah, like you're married or unmarried. No, I'm a woman, and
so it's Miss, Mrs. and Ms.
Ms. was just And they made such a big deal about it. And I was like, looking back, I go, I understood why.
Yeah.
Ms. Biazzi. She was a Ms. That was my second grade special ed teacher.
Ms. Biazzi.
Ms. Biazzi.
And also, what a ring, you know? There's a ring to that. Ms. Biazzi.
Ms.
Ms. Biazzi.
But anyway, I'm glad. I wanted to throw some love that person's way.
Yes.
Because
shout out Alok.
One more thing. Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
When they interviewed Mrs. Rogers, and
There's
said,
a Mrs. Rogers.
Yes. I think she just passed too.
Oh, okay.
But
there was a Mrs. Rogers.
She said, someone said, and I loved her answer. Oh, they go, there'll never be another Mr. Rogers. And she went, there will be. You just have to look. And when I see people like that,
that's very sweet.
That make people breathe easier, because that's what the essence of Mr. Rogers was. He made a lot of people breathe easier while he was on this planet. And then when I see work that they're doing, I'm like, yeah, that's what Mrs. Rogers was talking about. There are other there are other Mr. Rogers, and you just have to look.
Wait, can I tell you something psycho?
And that's what I think about them. Let's say their name again. I don't want to say it wrong.
Alok.
Okay, I'm saying it right. Okay. Alok.
Okay, have you seen the Mr. Rogers documentary?
Yes.
Did you see it in theaters?
Yes.
I know that because I was in the same theater. This is before we met, and I just knew of you, was a fan, and I went.
The movie or the doc?
The documentary.
Okay, because there was also the movie with
Bill,
with
the
Tom
documentary.
Hanks. The documentary. I saw both.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm in the movie. I'm watching this documentary. I'm going, wow, this is so cool and great. And as I get up and the lights are on to leave, I go, oh my God, it's Todd Glass.
I remember going to that, and I remember everybody stayed to the very end because they probably thought this is a room with just a lot of good energy.
Yeah, and good intention.
No one wanted to
room.
Leave, and I remember looking around, going, no one's leaving.
Yeah,
it really well up. It really just gave me faith, and Mr. Rogers gave you faith in on how decent we can be.
That documentary is so amazing.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever saw you in person.
Right, and then the first time I met you was at where we talked.
Was it? Where was it? It wasn't at that.
Where you worked at that time.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
I was waiting tables.
Right.
That was so fun.
And that was like a big deal for me to go. I felt like coming out of my comfort zone, being in the closet all those years. And my ex was a rugby player. He played rugby, and they had like an event there.
Yeah.
So I went. I was like, yeah, look at you, like
hey.
going to a place. And I saw you. I felt like, yeah, I know people here.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's cool.
And then I went home, and Danielle Lee was like, yeah, I know. I go, I think he was so nice. I want to hang out with this guy. He was really cool. And Danielle Lee, Steve Feinhardt's ex.
Yes.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I know him really well.
Yeah.
We should, plan something.
Amazing.
Yeah,
also, that was my last shift as a waiter.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
It was a long time.
I think that was pre-pandemic.
It was. It was like just before it. Like, cause that's what ended me being a waiter was the pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
And here we are, best friends.
Here we are, best
friends.
No one knows me better.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
How can people follow you and support you?
By the way, this is a jacket, not a shirt. I just want to make it clear.
Oh, I could tell.
Follow me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram as Todd Glass. I'm on TikTok as Todd Glass, having a ball. And that's two good places to find me.
Your videos are so funny.
Thank
and good.
Thank you.
You really
shout out to Chad Maxwell for helping me in so many ways. It's with social media.
Beautiful union.
Yeah.
A beautiful union of minds. Listen to the show forever. Support me. Send me money. I love you. Bye.